Hello, everybody, and welcome to Disney Night Live. Happy Saturday.
Aloha.
Aloha.
I like the beer.
Yeah.
I should have had a Mai Tai.
Got to start off the show with a Guinness here. It's a Saturday. Happy Saturday. Welcome back, returning guest Steve Seifert from TikiMan pages. You guys are on Facebook and on the web, right? It's or is it just Facebook now? It's both.
Yeah, well, the website's still under construction.
Right. Okay.
And I actually have it up right now, but it's kind of it's still getting worked on.
Okay. So, but you guys are on Facebook under TikiMan's Unofficial Polynesian Resort pages, and we absolutely love the page and, of course, all things Tiki and Poly. So we wanted to have Steve back on here because you were on in the summertime, and we got into a lot of the Poly history, but there's so much to talk about. Plus, we wanted to talk about the Polynesian construction right now that's going on, and quite a mess that they're making over there at the Poly, and some other fun stuff. So, welcome back to our show.
Thank you.
You got it.
We got lots to talk about.
We do. We do.
Where's Alan?
No Alan tonight. He was joking around. You can never tell with our co-host Alan. Alan was not supposed to be on tonight.
Oh, you can never tell with him.
No, you can never tell. Lisa was going to come on, and she's taking the night off because we figured Jay would be here, Skipper Jay, but Skipper Jay got called into work and couldn't make it. So it is just the three of us.
All right.
But like Steve said, we got plenty to talk about. Hello,
yes,
Frances Mendoza. We're live. If you guys want to share us out, you could just share us out from now. That's Disney. Just share out the stream to whoever. Hey, Carlos, what's up, man? Carlos Aquino, my DEA consultant buddy. We spent a lot of time together doing some DEA audits and getting into trouble. So,
hey, Jody.
Hello, Jody. Hello, everybody. Again, happy Saturday. I'm back. I'm healthy. I was sick for Thanksgiving, and we had to cancel the show last weekend, so I apologize about that. But we're here, and we're excited to be back. It's fun to be live again, and it's fun to be joining you guys on a Saturday night. And cheers to everybody. We're going to have a great time tonight. We have a deal of the week. We have the Magic World to talk about, and then we're going to get into our topic of all things Poly and Tiki.
Sounds good.
Kim, do you want to show off your ears, your homemade ears?
Oh, yes, I have my Poly tonight, my Poly attire on. These are my homemade ears. Can you guys see them?
Nice.
Now we can. Look at you.
Can you guys hear this? Hold on.
Let's see. Let's exit that solo layout.
Can you guys hear the music?
I don't hear any music. No.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I'm playing it on my page, but I wasn't sure if it would play over on the show. Maybe I'm just hearing it through the headphones.
Yeah, you might just. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it might be a good thing.
It would have been perfect. It's the old Polynesian background loop that they had. I think they stopped it in the early 2000s. But I was just playing one of the tracks from that. But I guess I'm the only one enjoying it.
Hey, Donald, I actually listened to that YouTube stream on YouTube. When I'm at work, I just pull YouTube up and play it. And also the new one. Gets me through the day.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I want to talk about our friends over at DVC Rental. We got a fun deal of the week for you tonight. I think people are going to love. So let me play our floating monorail jingle.
Float that monorail.
I'm going to float it. I just have to find it first. Let's see where. There we are. Here we go. Float it up. A lot of fun. I never get tired of that jingle. I want to tell people first, before we show them the deal of the week, to not forget our promo code NTD50. They save $50 off this reservation you're about to see in any reservation with DVC-rental. And it's a good one. It's a 2-night stay at Old Key West, January 16th through January 18th. This is a 2-bedroom villa, standard view at Old Key West. And that's going to run you $967 for the 2 nights. But don't forget, take the $50 off. So for the 2 nights, you're at a total of $917 for a room that's going to sleep 9 people plus an infant. 2-bedroom villa at Old Key West. This is a great deal of the week. It's $15 per point. And that's reduced from $25 per point. Scott was telling me, Scott Ferrioli from DVC-Rental. So this is another great deal. I'm surprised more and more that people do not do DVC-rental point renting. It's a great way to stay deluxe resort and save money. So please get in touch with our friends over there. Get in touch with Scott at dvc-rental.com. Check them out all over social media, dvc-rental.com. And if you like renting, check out buyandsell.dvc.com, where you can buy a resale contract. Or if you have contracts, maybe you want to unload one, you don't go to Disney anymore, you want to give somebody else the opportunity, you could sell your contract to them. Yep. They do it all. They run the gamut.
If you ever have a trip planned and you were just going to go through Disney, that's fine, but never not. Just email. Right. All you have to do is email Scott.
Check it out.
And say, these are my dates, and this is how many people I have, and he'll get back to you. Right. And tell you what you can get. And we used to do it before we owned DVC. We got, what did we get, David, through that?
We stayed at the Poly, actually.
Yeah,
our first,
Poly, that way we stayed at, Boardwalk that
Boardwalk,
way.
Yeah.
For half the price about, so it was great.
Yeah,
and
I mean, when you
during COVID.
You break down that price, it's $967. Again, with their promo code, it's $917. So it's $450, right? $450 something per night.
Well, that's huge.
That's a 2-bedroom room with washer and dryer accommodations, full kitchen, 9 people that sleep. So when you talk about splitting that between 2 families, it's a couple $100 a night. That you're staying at a deluxe Disney property. So please check them out. We don't want to forget about our friends either over at D Magic World. I cannot tell you enough of how much I listened to them again this week at work. I even messaged Jasper and told them, because they're playing. It is a great deal, Lisa. Thank you. I told Jasper how much, because he's playing music loops from the parks, but Christmas music, but like the old Christmas music. It's so much fun. Please check them out. Yeah, it really is. DMagicWorld.com. They play Disney Night Live shows every Tuesday and Sunday. They play the full shows, so you could hear us there as well. They have the movie channel. They have the parks channel. So if you're tired of just the parks music or the attraction music, head over to the movie station that's there. And don't forget, you choose what they play. Get in touch with them, dmagicworld.com. Tell them how much you love them. Jay always says,
love you, D Magic World.
We do love you. Jay always says you're the best looking people on radio. We love you guys. Keep it going, D Magic World. You're a great station, and you bring us a lot of joy.
They are, though. I mean,
they are.
Have you ever listened to them? Like, they just go off on these tangents sometimes that with old clips from any.
Like the alien encounter. Yeah, like the whole attraction. Like, yeah, it is fun. It's great.
Except that one time that you left it on in the living room, and then you went to mow the lawn, and I was stuck in some kind of really strange psychedelic.
You're probably in like a Tokyo
ride or what, but it was for like an hour and a half, and I'm like, David, give me your phone, because it was connected.
Alan wants to know if he missed the deal. If you missed the deal, Alan, you can watch the replay. I have a feeling you are messing with me again. I tell you what, not many
Alan,
people
I
can...
totally thought that you were coming on. We were talking all
please.
day about what we were wearing.
This is what he does, and not many people can bust my chops, but Alan, he does it pretty well, let me tell you. So we are again happy to have back Steve Seifert again from TikiMan Pages, and we I don't know. You want to tackle the poly construction first? Do you want to talk about what's going on over there with the building of the new DVC area?
Yeah, we could do that. So it's kind of interesting. Just really quick, I brought up my timeline that I wrote when I kind of created my DVC section of my site way back when, just to kind of show how far back all this goes. So the first time I had found out about anyone talking about DVC at the Polynesian was in 2006, and what they were looking at was actually taking out, well, at that time it was called Tahiti, now it's Moorea, which is the original name. And they were going to rip out that building and put in a DVC building. And then they thought, well, that was too much, so they were going to convert those rooms, which is kind of what they ended up doing. But after all that going back and forth in 2006, they had determined that DVC wasn't feasible at the Polynesian, which we know how that turned out.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until 2010 I think that's when they put up the sight balloons. They had sight balloons over at the luau, which was supposed to be the original construction area. And let's see, October 2011, it was during the celebration when I was there for the anniversary. They were talking about what they were going to have to do that was when they were discussing taking out the waterfall and everything in the lobby, and then converting that over along with the construction for DVC, which we know how everyone loves the fact that the waterfall is gone. Yeah. Although the cast members are happy it's not there, just because it was so, I mean, think about it. They're sitting there all day long, and it's the noise, as much as we liked it, was not easy for them to communicate with guests, and just hearing that all day long every day is got to get to you, right? I see. I'm sorry, May 2012 is when the sight balloons went up, and they were 4 or 5, trying to see how big a 5-story building would look over in that area. Of course, now that we see they're going a lot taller than that with the new one.
Huge.
So a lot of this stuff started way back, 2011, 2012. And then, we fast forward to where we have DVC now. And when DVC first opened in 2015, I'd been part of some discussions where they were talking about a phase 2. Interestingly enough, it looked like phase 2 was actually going to go where Tangaroa Terrace is. And so I assumed if there's a building there, because I saw concepts for a building there, I would assume they were going to rip out all those buildings. And you think about it, other than using it for cast members, right? They're not doing anything with it. I mean, they even closed the kids club, which was kind of interesting because that was still being used. So other than the laundry having to be relocated, there was nothing kind of left there for guests. They needed to keep that there. And in fact, it's interesting. It's still there, and they still haven't done anything with it.
Yeah.
If I ever become GM, which we talked about the other day, I'm putting a restaurant back in there and the arcade.
In Tangaroa, right?
Yeah. Whenever we pass by it, we're like, it's such a big space, and
it's perfect,
right? And at least like a community hall, because our son loves that. He loved it, and even even like 2 years ago, we stayed at Bay Lake. He loved the community hall. It's just like a little piece of home, sort of.
They talked about doing something like that for DVC. And they even talked about a gym, anyway, they've gone through so many different things that I've heard, and obviously none of them happened. But now what finally did happen, as we all know, is they are going through with a phase 2. And phase 2, unfortunately, took out the luau, which, I think people are as upset about that as they are the waterfall. Now, I'm not completely convinced that some form factor of the luau won't come back, because
Hi, Claudine.
They talked about bringing the luau indoors anyway, because of the fact that it's so affected by the weather, and there's so many cancellations in the winter. So, I don't know of any information that says that there's going to be a luau show inside the new building, or if it's even big enough for that. But I think we just have to wait and see. Now, the biggest thing about what's going on is I think when people first saw they were tearing out the luau and that area was fenced off for them to do the removal, they thought, oh, that's not too bad. It's kind of close, but we still have all this, green space and beach in between us and the area. But as you can see in that picture, they've expanded it. And I saw this on the original plans. I knew the construction area was going to run right up to those buildings, because if you looked at the original plans that were released, it's right up to the line of those buildings. And so
exactly,
the people that thought that it wasn't going to become an issue, I think it's going to become a big issue, and it already is. There's people staying in those rooms, and they look out the window, and that's what they see. And the worst part is they say, well, it's not too bad. Oh, see, there's the tree they moved from the luau that they saved.
Right.
And I don't know if it's going to stay there.
Which house?
That's Aotearoa.
Okay.
That's Aotearoa right there.
That's the whole. That's the completely other side. Then when you're walking out of the
that's the farthest.
It's the left past.
That's the farthest west.
Right.
Okay.
This is between when you're walking from Poly going to the luau and then Grand Floridian.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you could.
Yeah,
see
these were taken from
your water.
That's Fiji that the pictures are taken from. Okay. So you're looking at the west side of Fiji. So the problem is just like with the construction, any construction around there, and even the Polynesians' early construction, the soil's so sandy that they've got to go pretty deep with the supports. So when they start hammering in supports for an 8-story building,
that's
it's going to be noisy. And then a lot of people are saying, okay, well, that's fine. If I'm over in the DVC or if I'm over in the Hawaii Longhouse or something, it's going to be much better. But you got to remember the cove curves. That area of water over there is actually called Pepeete Bay. And that section there, where it curves. So where you see all that construction going on and the equipment, you can look from there and see Moorea, Hawaii, parts of Samoa. So that noise is going to travel right across that water. If you had somebody stand out on one of those islands, you could hear somebody talking on one of those islands if they're out there. That's how far sound travels across water. So it's going to be disruptive. And I know Disney doesn't like me saying that, but I don't work for Disney and they don't really give me anything for free. So I just try and be honest with the guests, because I care about the guest experience, good and bad. I tell them the good things, I tell them the bad things. And we've had construction there before. I mean, this has happened so many years. I've been there so many times over the years where, you could be in a building looking right out at, guys digging with backhoes. So it's nothing new, but this is a large project. Luckily it's not right in the middle of the longhouses like some of the past ones were, but, it's going to take a while. So just be prepared. And in Disney's defense, they've had it up on their website, warnings about construction since, last year, since they announced the DVC. So just, you got to do your homework before you go and accept what's the consequences may be. I don't think it's fair to go there and then have a view of that and then go yelling and screaming at management like it's their fault that they're doing construction. No. And they say, well, I'm paying full price. But, if you didn't want the risk of going there and paying full price and getting that view, then maybe don't go right now. Or book if you book a pool view, you'll end up in Samoa, so you won't be looking at it. Or if you get club level or DVC, you won't be looking at it. So, but every other category, there's standard view, lagoon view, and theme park view in all of those rooms that are looking right at that dirt. So that's
especially if you're going for the first time and you've been dying to go to the Poly, I wouldn't recommend you doing it during that time. Like if you're a DVC member, like we're kind of used to it. We've seen construction. The one time we went a couple of years ago, right after COVID, when they were redoing the lobby, the first time we went there for Ohana, they were redoing it. Yeah, it was a little bit of a
Kona Cafe. when it was closed off, when they were doing Ohana.
When they were actually doing the poly lobby and they took out the water fountain and all that and redid the whole thing.
Oh, before DVC.
Yeah. Really get high.
Oh, it was a maze. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everything was closed off.
We were there during that. And we knew the poly, so we were kind of like, all right, we like the Oasis pool anyway. I kind of missed going into the lobby because that's a big part of it, but we are big Oasis pool people, which if people don't know, that is the quiet pool. And our son actually prefers that pool.
Yeah, we spend more time there.
So for us, it wasn't that bad. But if you have little kids that are like dying to go to the lava pool, which is the big pool with the waterfall and the water slides, then that's also going to affect that whole area from the lava pool.
Right.
It's going to be like a hot mess, I feel like, from that construction.
Plus things would like to know, they're watching from YouTube. They want to know, do you know when they're estimating it's going to open?
I've heard late 2024.
Yeah, that's what right. Okay. Yeah.
David, that's Rosie.
Hi, Rosie.
And she just became a travel agent.
Congratulations.
And she also is a DVC poly owner, I believe, right, Rosie? Yeah, I think I know she's DVC. So yeah, that's why probably she wants to know as well. Now I'm wondering, David, if we want to stay there in April or
Don and Marie are staying there while we're there. So we're gonna stay there. And I was gonna say, so the luau going away is sad, but the luau's been closed for a long time. With COVID.
Well, just before from COVID.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can't go there and say, well, they took away the luau. That's been years. And like you were saying, you're going to plan like you're going anywhere else on a vacation. You need to do your planning. So if you're going there and this is going on, visually it's going to be there and you're going to hear some noise, but other than that I'm available to deal with it. Hey, Scott Dieter, what's going on, man?
That's Scott.
Yeah. Hey, so
my other admin, he should be on the show helping me.
You got to come on next time.
Well, he normally works Saturdays because I wanted to have both Scott and Steve on and do like a drink thing, but I've been waiting for Scott to have a Saturday off. So yeah, you can't go there and complain about the construction and what it looks like, knowing that it's going on. It's going to happen, and there's going to be improvements, when they're done with it. And let's see what it looks like. But it does currently look way larger.
I guess the other thing is there's a couple questions to that, right? Well, first of all, I believe because they were going to do this in the original. Oh, and they did they were going to build. I have concept art I posted on my page of Pago Pago being a 5-story longhouse for DVC. Oh, wow. And the interesting part is it looked like the longhouses. Other than like everyone's complained this new one doesn't look like it matches, which it kind of doesn't. Yeah. If you look at the concept art for the Pago Pago reconstruction into a 5-story longhouse, it looks like a longhouse. Same roof line, same looks and everything. And did we lose? I lost you guys.
Are you still there?
I see you.
Yeah, we see you and hear you.
Can you not see us?
Can you hear me still?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm here.
Yeah, you're freezing up a little bit.
You're frozen.
Now you're spinning.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. TikiMan spinning. Scott Dieter is on break time. Thank you for tuning.
Okay, it's coming back. There we go. I'm alive again.
Yeah, there. Yeah, you spun a little bit.
So originally they were gonna build a DVC pool over there with a lazy river and everything, and a lot of stuff got cut back, including I've got concept pictures that I can't share of what the pool outside the Great Ceremonial House was going to look like, because they were going to redo it instead of kind of retheming it. And so the new pool at the DVC, I'm assuming is going to be a DVC only pool. So that's going to be good for DVC members, but then there's going to be a lot of people staying at the Polynesian that are not going to see it as an additional amenity.
Right.
But I'm assuming like whatever restaurants and bars and things they put in and shopping will be available for all guests. So
Steve's breaking up a little bit. There seems to be something going on with his connection. Kim, you can still hear me, right?
Yes, I can.
You know what I was thinking would be cool with the construction of the new DVC tower? If they built it like the new tower, and underneath the tower there was like an opening, and that's where they can have, it would be like a covered luau. You know what I mean? Like, okay, almost like a
It would be indoors
or something. It would be an indoor thing, but an open air type deal.
Okay.
Right. So
maybe. I mean,
yeah. Like, I just thought that would be a cool concept. So you build the tower, and then not like a parking garage, but there's like a walkway, and in there is where they can hold a luau. So even if it rains, you can hold a luau, and you're not, with the smoke and stuff from going on, it's not an indoor thing.
But it is going to have its own pool.
Yeah, that pool. So that first section that you see in the pictures of the dirt right outside of Fiji and Aotearoa is that's where you're going to be looking at a pool.
Yeah.
When it's done.
Nice. And does it look nice so far? The concept art you've seen, does it look? Give us some hints.
I mean, it does, but
like a regular pool.
I think it looks well done, but it just doesn't look like it matches. I mean, it's going to be tropical, and if it was a hotel like on Waikiki Beach or something, it would be fine. It would be a really nice hotel. But I think the biggest complaints is not only how big it is, because that's going to be a lot of people added to the infrastructure, and having that's why they better they better open Tangaroa Terrace as a restaurant again. But it just doesn't match. It doesn't have anything. Like they could have, like a lot of people say, they could have added, the geometric patterns that are on the side of the longhouses now with the colors, kind of like they did out in front when they redid the front. That didn't happen. And if you look at the old concept art for when they were going to rebuild the buildings over on the east side, those matched. So I think it's just they could have done a little bit better job of making it blend. I mean, even I know Bay Lake Towers doesn't look shaped like the contemporary, but it still looks like it's themed like the contemporary.
Yes, it does. Yeah. Yeah.
Donald's comment is hilarious. Everybody thinks drinks and pineapples are great.
I don't know. There's gonna,
hopefully it's enough.
What's that?
I mean, then there'll be 3 pools.
Yeah, but so this pool will just be for DVC, and my concern, like you're saying, Steve, is like restaurant wise, you're adding X amount of rooms and X amount of bodies staying in those rooms.
Yeah.
Ohana's already very hard to get into. Kona Cafe is kind of easy to get into, but that's going to get more crowded. So you're adding X amount more reservations coming in. And if you don't add enough dining on that property, it's going to be really difficult. Captain Cook's is not that huge. So you're going to have some sort of quick serve here, and you're going to have at least a restaurant on property, right?
Or maybe even another quick service, because Captain Cook's is
small.
Well, I mean, you have the Oasis Grill, although it seems like they've kind of you can still order there. It was kind of, when it first opened, it was a little bit more of like the grill was there, they were cooking there and everything.
Yeah.
It seems like they're bringing the food over now, I think.
Right. Yeah, they don't even open the door anymore where they used to.
Yeah, so I don't know if that'll have to go back open. That kind of reminds me of the old snack aisle that used to be over at Tangaroa Terrace, in between the arcade and Tangaroa Terrace. It was another quick service over in that area for the East Pool. But I mean, I agree. They'll probably have to do something else in addition to in the new building, with just to keep enough going for the people in that one building.
Right.
So
yeah, a lot of people visit the Poly. It's not, you're only a boat ride away or a monorail ride away from Magic Kingdom. A lot of people leave Magic Kingdom for breaks and lunch and come over to places like the Poly and the Grand Floridian to eat. So it doesn't have enough. I would really like to see the kids, playhouse that they had there turned into a gym facility, because for me, if you're paying that much money and you're staying at the Poly, I don't want to walk to the Grand Floridian if I want to visit a gym.
Yeah.
I think it should have their own
gym,
I
get that.
You know, right? And Tangaroa Terrace should be turned into dining.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I don't understand the thought process behind that. I know they say they use it for cast. I know they do use it for cast member meetings, and I think they even have some workout equipment and stuff in there. But I mean, what were they doing before when that was a restaurant? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
And not that I want to take stuff away from the cast members. Maybe in this new building they got to build them some facilities for cast members that's nicer than what they got there, because it's kind of a storage area too. So.
Yeah, I mean, when we walk by it, there's just a lone security officer in there.
Yeah, there's always
it's like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Well, yeah, that's because we're always sneaking in there looking at all the old stuff they have stashed in there. So they got to put security guards in there to keep us out. So
yeah,
I'd like to go in there. Now that you're telling me that, I'm gonna try and sneak in.
Yeah, be like, hey guys, can I get a painting or something?
Wait, I have a question. That it's the old DVC stuff is still going to be there, right?
Well, the 3 buildings that we stay in.
Change that. They're not going to turn the old DVC room. Okay, good.
No,
because I like
no.
Yeah. I like my old area. I mean, we'll see what the new place looks like, but I like our old section there, because, like I said,
I was glad they turned Tokelau into DVC rooms, because that was one of my favorite buildings if I wasn't staying club level.
Well, yeah.
And originally it wasn't DVC. It was only going to be Morea and Pago Pago. In fact, Tokelau had been transformed into the updated standard room at the time. And then they didn't even open it. And they said, well, we need more DVC rooms. And they gutted all that stuff. That's why you see a lot of that stuff, was for sale, brand new, because they took it all out of those rooms right after they had finished redoing it, and then converted them over to DVC, which, I mean, I guess they had to. And it worked out nice, because it's a great location for, DVC rooms. It's the only building you can get a standard view and see the castle and firework. Well, I shouldn't say only. There's a handful of rooms like in Samoa, and you can see over the roof from Rarotonga and stuff. But
DVC
on the
wise,
on the for sure DVC. But
end, right? Is that the
it's
building?
5-4. Wait, it's like 5-4-1-9 or
5-4. It's 3914. Is the west side, and 2914, and all those are on the corner now. Along that west side, you can go pretty far back in those rooms, and if you look off to the side, you'll see the fireworks. If you're on the west side, only the corner rooms are going to see, because you have no wall on the corner, so you can see right off the side of the balcony, and you can see the fireworks. But if you go farther down that building on that side, all you can see is the contemporary. You can't actually see the fireworks for any of those rooms. But
still
the east, east side. The west side on the pool side is the one that pretty far down that building, you can look over and see fireworks and see the castle.
Right.
So
I feel like all of the DVC buildings, longhouses over there, I have like a benefit though, because like Tokelau, if you're really if you're pool people, which we are on pool days, like it was so close.
It's right there. Right outside the
Oasis pool. And then what was it? And then
Pago Pago has the
one that's
laundry.
right by the one that's right
by Morea has the laundry.
Morea has the laundry.
But Pago Pago is nice because the parking lot's right there. So you got almost like your own little parking lot, and then quick access to the transportation ticket center.
Yeah, we don't do parking lots in Disney. My motto is
we are in a bubble.
Okay.
We have to fly there, so we're not from there, so there's no driving, and that's one of the reasons why, like, I don't want to see a parking lot, because then I really if I don't see a parking lot, then I know, like, no, I'm not
driving anywhere. I start drinking at 9:30 in the morning, and I'm sleeping by
8:30. That building is so close.
Hey, Lana Peterson, how are you?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, if you're, on those long days when your feet are hurting, it's nice to come back from the TTC and just bam.
Oh, and be right there.
There. I know.
Yeah.
Well, we stayed at Tokelau 2 trips ago, not this past trip, because we had a Lakeview, which was great. But 2 years ago, our room was facing the Oasis pool, but if you hung over the balcony, you could see the fireworks.
Oh,
so, it's a slight view, but it's still a view.
It's something. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
That's a
most book. Go ahead.
Sorry, that's a quick trip too. If you love to run down to see the electric water patch, like me, and like you forget, and then I'm like, it's on. It's a really quick run down to the beach, which I love.
Yeah.
Hello.
It really is. I mean, it's close to. It really isn't far for either pool. I mean, the next pool is one more building past that. Getting to the Transportation Ticket Center is a straight shot past Moorea, and then on the other side, like you said, the beach, and then down to where the ferry is. I mean, the motor launch. So everything's a pretty close walk from Tokelau, including the bus stop. Bus stop's at the other end of the building. So there's nothing really very far.
Yeah.
And then so I have one of the signs downstairs in my bar. I'll have to show you when we do the bar tour someday. It's the room sign, and it's for 3914, and 3914 is the most requested room on property, including before it was DVC.
Yeah,
because it's the one with third floor balcony, and you got a view for standard view of the castle. Yeah,
exactly.
What's the John Lennon room? I heard that no one knows what it is now. That it's lost.
Well, things have changed, but
no one knows the exact room. Some people say they do, but the guy that actually supposedly brought him to the room doesn't remember exactly. It was somewhere in the middle of the building, but it would be in Samoa. They say Hawaii because back then Samoa was called Hawaii. But yeah, it's somewhere in that building.
Okay. So let me just take a poll right now, really quick. Who here wants Steve to come back and do his tiki bar tour? And then you guys can bring your own drinks, and we'll do David's tiki bar tour, but it's nowhere as near as good as
it's not even really tiki, it's just a bar.
Who wants to come back and do the TikiMan bar tour? Me? Yeah. Anyone else?
I just opened another Guinness. I don't know if you heard it pop, but
nice. You're making me want to go make a Mai Tai.
Yeah. Listen, Saturday is for cocktails. I didn't get to have anything over Thanksgiving break, having the flu. I had, I think, a half a glass of wine on Thanksgiving, and I slept the entire next day. So I got to make up for it.
And he was crabby about it, too.
I was super crabby about it. I'm thankful to be healthy, and I'm really thankful for the people that gave me the flu. Let's talk real quick about some poly scents. Let's one of the most popular things about these resorts and something that people want to bring home with them when they're not able to be there, especially the poly. For me, it's so distinct. There's the scent in the poly, especially the lobby. So you've got some insight and some information on scents, Steve.
Yeah. So I started my site in the late 90s. What used to be on a lot of the forums, back before obviously there wasn't really Facebook or anything like that to discuss things. And one of the things you heard the most was talking about how the poly smells. And the Polynesian has had its different era of smells. I don't know. Do you think the contemporary has a distinct smell? I mean, before they started pumping in a scent. Okay, well that's newer. But I mean, if you went way back when you used to be there as a kid, do you remember anything? Yeah, I honestly don't either. But you always remember the Polynesian. So they've only been pumping in the scents since I want to say 2009. So before that, basically what you were smelling was you walk into the atrium lobby with all the plants, and then the treatment they have in the water. It's not chlorine. It's called something else. It's actually Scott should come back on. He'll tell you what it is.
Bromine or something?
But it had that smell, right? You smell it when you're around fountains. What's that?
Is it bromine?
Yeah. So So you go, you go into any, because if you're somewhere else and you go, like I've been in Vegas and I went in one and it had a big waterfall and water feature, and I'm like, oh, it kind of smells like that same stuff they used at the Polynesian to clean keep the bugs, the bacteria out, right? So that smell was those things. That's what people recognized when they went in. And then when they went into the longhouses, fortunately or unfortunately, there was a lot of moisture built up in the Polynesian rooms, hallways, everything else, and it had a really musty smell. So a lot of people would kind of make fun of the Polynesian because it smelled moldy or whatever. And interestingly enough, in 2003, they actually had to remove all the lower rooms, close them off, dig them up, cement in the gap that was below the portable rooms that were put in to get rid of that growth, that mold growth. So, obviously that's probably where some of the smell was coming from, and that's why people either loved it or hated it, because it did kind of smell moldy. Now, if we stay in the early days of what some of the smells were there, so I have leftover, I have this stuff, and I think there's about 1/4 of an inch of the stuff left in here. So I got this forever ago because
tropical fruit.
Yeah, so it's by Aromatic. It's by Aromatic. I got a glare on there.
Yeah, there you go.
And so they don't make that scent anymore. I've got the site up actually, and they have a couple of different ones, but nothing very tropical. But the reason I found out it was that is because I had gotten to know the housekeepers that were coming through while we were staying, and a lot of times they'd have to shampoo the rugs, and then they'd put these big fans in the room to dry them out because nothing dries in Florida. And then when they were all done, they sprayed down the rooms with not this pump one like this, but an aerosol version of this in a silver can. And they had it on all the carts. So they sprayed that around in the rooms after it was all clean, and it gave it that tropical smell. So a lot of people, if you smelled that, you'd probably, if you're there in the 80s and 90s, you'd probably recognize the smell and think, oh, that reminds me of when I walked into the room after it was done by housekeeping. So for the longest time I had this, and it kind of was my bringing back the memories from the smell. Now, fast forward to, like I said, I think it was around 2009, Scent Air came in, or I was told by the staff there that they were now using these Scent Air machines. And at the time they started using it, they were using 2 scents. And not in the same time, but different areas. But the main lobby was the green bamboo, and then there's a white tea ginger. And the white tea ginger I've never been able to find, and they don't make it anymore. But the green bamboo, which I actually have,
was giving the
here,
secret out,
because I finally broke down and bought a Scent Air machine. There's some pros and cons. There's not a lot of cons, but I mean the cost is one of the cons. But if you go onto their Facebook page, they have a lot of. In fact, they just had one like I think a couple days ago, 50% off everything.
Oh wow!
So the machines that are normally, I want to say, in the $300 range, you can get it for half off. And
hint,
so
hint,
I have
Christmas
one.
gift. Hint, hint. Scent
Right.
Air.
So I have it's the Whisper Air. It's like kind of the home version. There's another taller version of this, but I mean, I think it takes the same. I think the cartridges maybe a little bit bigger, but you just put it right in the top there, and
it slides right in.
You turn it on, and this lights up with LEDs. Down here, it glows with LEDs, and you can change the color with your app, and you can turn on the logo if you want.
Oh,
and the app even runs like a schedule. You can set it up on a schedule, so it's not running really hard all day, so you're not burning out the scent, or turn it on and off. It tells me when it's going low for my app and when to replace it.
Jeez.
So they last about a month. Some of the scents I've noticed have lasted longer, and then like it's just sitting in here right now, and I can smell it. It's not even on. So the one I have in there now, this is the one that smells like the lobby. And at first we're like, does it really? When I smelled it, I'm like, I'm not sure. But then I ran it, and I'm like, every time I'd walk by it, I'm like, yeah, the memories are coming in my head from the smell. And then a friend of mine had found there's Scent Air machines in different areas. Now, I don't know what they're using in the club lounge, but I did find the machine, but I didn't open it up to see what was in there. But a friend of mine did find out which one is in Captain Cook's and over near Trader Sam's, which as soon as I bought it, I feel like I'm walking down the hallway to Trader Sam's, and that's the Mediterranean fig. Now, I have a picture of the cartridge that's there, and it looks a little bit different because it's a bigger cartridge for a different machine, but that's the smell. And this is the one we actually do in our bar. So when we're in the bar, it reminds us of, Trader Sam's.
You feel and when you're at the Poly, you can't see these scent air machines, right? They're somewhere you don't. Yeah, they're not.
Where
visible.
are they coming from?
They're not obvious.
In the lobby.
Right.
Like I always.
Yeah, I honestly don't know where they are in the lobby. They've got to be somewhere, but I don't know. I don't know where my friend found the one in Captain Cook's, but the one in club level, it looked like, I don't want to say art, kind of furniture. It was just kind of a thing. It didn't seem obvious.
Wow.
And I don't even remember what made me think. Maybe because I didn't know what it was. I was like, why is it sitting there next to the dresser thing that they had there? So that's when I realized it was a scent air machine. So I'm sure who knows? I mean, they could be up high. Actually, they probably wouldn't be up high because I don't know that they would work as well. So they're probably down somewhere around furniture or something.
They're disguising them,
but,
I mean, which is cool.
Yeah, they don't want to make them obvious.
A couple of them are big ones because it's it's strong.
Oh yeah, and so I don't know. I'm kind of sold on them. I wait for the sales, and you can even get subscriptions. And sometimes if you subscribe, you can get them for like a lot less. You can start a subscription when you want, or halt it, or even change the scent that you're having. Because we got in a bunch of the holiday ones. We got some for before Thanksgiving, and then we got some for Christmas. And it's I wish they would have samples. I guess there's a way you can order samples, but that's the only bummer is you kind of got to take a risk. And I think so far with everything I've ordered, there's only been maybe 2 that I wasn't a huge fan of, but none that I really hated. I just wouldn't buy again. And I don't know. We've because we used to use the plugins from Bed Bath & Beyond. My big thing was Tiki Beach. I had about 1 billion of those.
Right.
And sometimes we'll still use those in the bathrooms, but for the most part, the scent air machines are what we use now. We got the bar, the kitchen, and then upstairs.
Yeah, we had one.
So that's.
Sorry, we had one Scentsy scent that. David, do you remember that one time it was called Now and Zen?
Now and Zen,
no longer available, but I do still have a couple bars. And as soon as I put on, it wasn't meant to be, but as soon as I put it on, it was very familiar. And David was like, "That's the Poly right there." And it was.
Oh yeah.
But it took you right back. And there's one scent that smells like pirates too.
Yeah, and I was telling Steve before we went live, Kim, that the one hand pump soap you got from Bed Bath & Beyond in the bathroom. Remember, it was like Pandora or Flight of Passage or something.
Yeah. It was a cherry. It was from Bed Bath & Beyond. It was like cherry something. It was just.
It was bizarre. It was just like bam.
Just like the rum. The rum part.
Oh, that's what it was. Yes. Pirates. That's what it was.
And we were like,
oh my God. Yeah.
Ooh, yum.
But that's what's great about these scents. I mean, they do bring you back, and there's so many different companies. I mean, you got to take a chance. You try it. We've tried some companies. But, it's nice to have that scent in your home and bring you back to a place that you love.
Oh, Riviera is a bit overpowering. I haven't smelled it yet.
I've smelled a couple of the other ones that say they're like Polynesian, and I was kind of like, yeah, not really. I mean, they weren't bad smells, and some of them were very tropical, but I'm like, it doesn't remind me anything of the Polynesian. Now, I will say I just had some stuff sent to me by the Magic Candle Company, and so they wanted my opinion on it because I'm always talking about the scents.
Right.
And so they sent me the wax. I got the wax here, and then a couple of the candles. I guess they got different sizes. I'll say the candle. They all smell the same. They all have a similar smell, but I don't know. I lit the candle and I couldn't really smell it. I mean, I could smell it from right up against it, but after burning for a while, I didn't really smell it in the room. So that would be my one drawback to that. I'm not a big candle person anyway, so I mean, not something I'd probably buy again. Or they do have a spray, and the spray smells like it. Now, I want to say this. So they supposedly modeled this after the scent air or whatever smell is at the Polynesian right now. I'll say, to me, it doesn't smell like any of the scent air ones that they're currently using that I've ever smelled. But on the other hand, and I kind of didn't really notice it when I lit the candle, but I got the hand soap, and I tell you, the hand soap I actually really like, and I use all the time now. When I had washed my hands with the hand soap, and I didn't really smell it when I was washing my hands. And then I was sitting on the couch, and I think I was just sitting there like this, and I'm like, oh, that smell does remind me of the Polynesian. Now, what's weird though is they say it's supposed to be a current smell, but for me, it really brought me back to more of some kind of a retro. Like it reminded me of more before the scent air stuff. Mm-hmm. In my head, that's the smell it was coming up, the memories. So I don't know. I've got the two. I got the scent air right here, and I've got that one right there, and it doesn't smell anything like it, but it does remind me of the Polynesian. So I think I'm probably sold on the hand soap because I do like it, and I like the smell, and the spray is kind of nice. It's kind of like what I was telling you they would do in the rooms after you clean your room and vacuum. You can spray a little spray in the room, and it kind of has that Polynesian feel to it. So I like those. I don't.
We got that once. Do you remember that? We got from Magic Candle Company. We got the Polynesian one. We got Rome burning.
Well, so I found that the candles, what I would do is I would light them down here on my desk when I was doing a show. So it was so close. I smelt it.
It was close.
It was really close. It was, but I enjoyed it because while I'm doing the show, I have a scent going on that reminds me of Disney. And it's just kind of like one of those weird things with me. It would make me feel even, I don't know, just more
for sure.
The show. Right. You know what I mean?
Remember now that we didn't love the Polynesian one. It didn't, the Rome burning was amazing from
Rome burning was great.
So
what's it smell like? Does it smell like the smoke?
Rome burning smells just like the.
It does, which is weird. Like it's not something that
Can somebody make one?
Like burnt toast,
Can somebody make one for? I want one for Flame Tree. What's a Flame Tree barbecue?
Flame Tree barbecue. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I want one for that.
Like a churro scent. No, the Bay Lake Tower one was great. I did like the Bay Lake Tower candle.
Nice.
Kim, you are biting your tongue right now talking.
I am being very we're talking about sense about competitors.
Kim's a Sensei consultant.
Come on, Steve.
No, I'm fine. Yeah, and like I said, I don't get anything from these guys. I'm just giving my honest opinion. Like I said, the candles aren't something I'd probably go for again, but I mean,
right.
You guys have much better diffusers, so.
Well, I want to say hi to Ralph. I do think the spray would be cool because like when you get out of your car, you spray your car down a couple times. So the next time you get into your car, right?
I forgot about this. There you go. You got a
air freshener,
hanging scent.
Yeah.
Too. But
that is so cute. Wait, what is the name?
I'm just going to use this as cologne now. I'm just going to spray this on like right here.
It's like Sex Panther.
Yeah. Maybe they make a deodorant.
Steve, what was the name?
Polynesian deodorant's the next thing.
Yeah. Scent
Of the what?
What was the name of the company again?
Scent Air.
Oh, this one?
Well, that's
this one or the Scent Air?
Yeah, and like the thing.
Oh, no, this. Oh, the machine. Yeah, Scent Air.
Yeah, the machine is Scent
Air.
Scent Air.
Yeah. I knew the Magic Candle Company.
Yeah. I want to show we loaded some.
And they actually started making candles, but I haven't tried them. So I don't know how good their candles are.
All right.
The candles only travel so far. We have 2 cats inside the house, and we haven't lit candles in a very long time. I mean, Kim sells Scentsy, and it warms, and we don't have to worry about any animals getting burnt. And when you have cats and you have a candle going, I don't need a cat on fire running through my house. So I do like.
So the Scensy's oil, right?
No, Scentsy does.
Or is it the wax?
Scentsy makes wax, and our scent.
Okay.
Our warmers don't burn; they just warm. You can, so they're very safe. I'm not going to get into my Scentsy spiel, but
nice.
But I like. I mean, I don't mind talking about this because Scentsy does not make, as of right now, specific Disney scents.
Mm-hmm.
Scentsy makes Disney
smells
warmers, and Scentsy will put like we just had an Alice in Wonderland warmers, for instance, and we made it to go with it. But you know something, one day you might see, don't mark my words, anybody, but we just signed a contract with Disney. We have a partnership with them. And like our newest wax bar is the official Disney Resort fragrance, even though it's not what they use, but they're calling it that. And
right.
Disney's allowing them to call it that, the official Disney Resort fragrance. So down the line, will Disney use Scentsy? Like we had our own booth at Epcot last year, which was very exciting. So down the line, will they be the official fragrance of Disney? I don't know. I can't say, but we
hope so.
But then, so you can use those. You can use those with other like waxes and stuff, right? The warmers. No.
Well,
I'm just saying. So I got a pack. Of these. Yes. Can I buy a warmer and put this in it, or what?
Yeah. Yes.
You absolutely can. You absolutely.
I got to do something with that. Either that, or I'm going to try and wax my truck with it. Yes. I don't know how well that'll go, but it might smell really good.
Can you buy a Scentsy warmer and put that wax in, or yes, you can?
That's what I'm asking, because I've already got this one right, so I got to do something with it.
Right, you want to warm your wax is what you.
I need. Yeah, I don't have a warmer, so where do I get a warmer?
We're gonna need more wax.
Teacher knows best. I always say to Kim when she's like, I go, we're gonna need more wax. She's spitting out her drink.
I want to spit out my juice.
We're gonna need more wax.
That's what we're talking about from what movie is that from?
That's from 40-Year-Old Virgin. Yeah, exactly. I always say that.
Right.
Like, I gotta.
The lady goes,
I gotta make my sales.
Well, are you suggesting that this can be used for that? That you can use the wax for waxing? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Probably.
I still need a warmer because I got to get it to melt.
Lisa Branscombe is also a Scentsy.
That's what you need, Steve.
John Sakari and look at this. Kim Plush thing says Scentsy wax warmers work great. Nice.
Yes, Rosie knows because she has.
There you
go. Sorry, I want to unclick this comment.
When are you guys gonna make a tiki one?
I'm telling you, I am waiting because it's they really need to get on that.
What would be
one? And
I want it for the bar.
Yeah, like a tiki mug.
I'm gonna put it in the bar.
Warmer.
That
right?
glows. The little bag.
And a good one, not too cartoony, like a good tiki,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kim, you and Steve should actually collaborate with Scentsy on the design of that.
We should. I'll talk to marketing. I have a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys are licensed by Disney, why can't we make it the Maui?
They can.
Right?
That would be.
Tell me that wouldn't sell like crazy.
Yes.
Right?
It would.
Yeah,
or even better, Pele with the volcano, and you can put it right in the top.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. And that glows. It needs to light up.
Yeah, I want lights on it, right? Because
a lot of the Disney ones don't light up, and they're cute.
Right.
But I like.
Oh yeah.
So the one behind me, Groot, is one of my favorites. and he doesn't light up, but he's absolutely adorable.
You can't
the design on his eyes.
He looks big. That's pretty big, isn't it? Oh, that's not too bad.
He's not too big. He's really cute though.
7 inches.
Yeah.
You can't really see his detail from there. But
no, not from there, but he's all tangled up. We loaded some photos here of Kim and her family from God, this is a long time ago.
We're running we're over.
Well, it's 9:02, so do you want to go through the photos real fast? A little trip down memory.
Maybe we can do we could do just the poly ones, and then I was thinking maybe we could do a vintage night.
Yeah.
For another show, just do like everything vintage.
That means we're old.
Disney. Mm-hmm. I don't want to keep Steve too much longer.
Yeah, and if it's okay with you, I'm gonna share those. If I can, I'm gonna share those ones you sent me of the Polynesian.
Yeah, I want
on my page because people love the old pictures.
So
we
maybe
show them. Show just the poly ones, David, really quick. So really quickly, I'll tell everybody that when I was little. So this is one of my favorites because that I know we were at the poly because that year was 1981. I can tell from my hair length, and that monkey coconut thing was one of my most favorite souvenirs from
possessions.
I brought it everywhere, and my father and I were walking, and like as you can see, look at all that land. Look at the contemporary in the background. That's none of that's there. Yeah. I mean, for a long time, I couldn't even figure out where we were when I refound this picture. So
yes, it is.
So I'm guessing you're about in the parking lot next to Pago Pago.
Or like, is that
that's
like
about
TTC?
Where that is? No, you're not quite there yet.
No.
Yeah, because you can kind of see the ferry back there and the angle. You're probably closer. I take that back. That angle, you're almost probably in between Pago Pago and where Tokelau is now, because there was no buildings there. The next building over would have been what was Hawaii called? Bora Bora? No, not Bora Bora. Tahiti would have been Hawaii, and then Samoa was called Hawaii. So there was no pool there. So, there was just open land all the way across to get over to so take out that whole half of the resort. That's all grass and plants.
We're looking at pictures of the new construction and we're like, God, what's it going to look like? And then you look at this photo and you're like, there was nothing there. Now there's buildings there.
It's amazing though, isn't it? And I kind of miss it a lot when I see this.
Well, it's really cool, but yeah.
So our first trip as a family, before that trip, we went to, we stayed at the Contemporary, which I loved. But our second trip staying at the Poly, this is where I was hook, line, and sinker. Hold on, David, go back a minute. So this is when you could swim in the lake. So what a lot of people don't realize is that back then, the Polynesian resort really felt like Hawaii. And to a child, I felt like I was on vacation somewhere else, and I didn't even care about Magic Kingdom half as much as I cared about that resort. Going back to that resort, swimming at that resort, and I know it seems crazy that we swam there, but I don't know. I don't know if there was no amoebas in the water, there wasn't alligators, and it was beautiful.
It wasn't amoebas.
It was warm. It was clean.
There wasn't.
It was beautiful. And then Steve brought up that boat behind me. Steve, you know what that's called, right?
Oh, I think Scott said that in the
it's that how do you pronounce Osceola class,
right?
Isn't that how you pronounce it, Osceola? OSCEOLA. Yeah, those were used, I think, until when did they say those? I think they stopped using them in the early 90s.
So, what's funny about this one, Kim?
But they were there since the beginning.
Kim actually sleeps with that coconut head every night. It's in between her and I in the bed.
But as you can see, like, look at the lake here. That's the lake you see now. And there was catamarans that you could take out. And
did you guys go in the summertime?
No, the first time we went was in June, and that's when I got really sick.
This photo here is in June?
No.
Okay.
The second time we got smart, and my father was like, "No way, are we going in June again?" Because I got heat stroke. Terrible.
Because your brother's in a full out flannel, like Bob the Builder here. It's like
if you see that ticket he had on, that was the ticket to get.
What's the tag? Yeah, what's the tag?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
That's to get into Magic
Really?
Kingdom. That's what you had to walk.
Oh, that's obnoxious.
Yeah,
so where you're at right there, see, you can even see that was before. That's the end of where Hawaii is now, and what was Sunset Point. But that's the end of the property, because you can see the dock back there for the motor launch.
Yeah, it's the same dock, right?
And nice big beach.
Yeah. Wow.
And look,
that's the same dock. Yep.
The water looks. It doesn't look like a lake. It looks like a lagoon.
It does actually look like you can go swimming in it.
It
yeah,
was
exactly.
Beautiful.
That's where they used to have the luau. Did you ever see the luau when it was there?
Yes.
Okay.
They
did.
One of the pictures David has is my family and I sitting on the catamaran. I loved that pool. So this one.
Oh, nice.
This was our first trip. I was younger. This was 1979, and we were staying at the Contemporary, but we went to the Poly to see the luau. And then, my father thought it was neat that they had the boats, and we took our picture on the boats. So, but yes, we did go to one luau.
Yeah, I was telling you, this reminds me of all the old pictures my wife shows me from her family. Would go there every year, and her first year would have been 77, I believe. She was 77, 78. She was 4, I think. And they've gone every year since.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first trip was 79 and I was 4, so your wife and I are close in age.
Wow.
Yeah.
I could have seen her there. That's our second trip, yes. And there's my grandmother.
Probably.
That we brought along. And I don't know where that statue is now. But yeah, I think we went in November.
They've moved him.
Yeah, I clicked on some photos just to click. So let's go back to your pool picture. Kim was learning how to swim here.
I already knew how to swim.
Yeah, what did my wife say? They used to call it the old people pool or something. Oh, there's the old slide.
That slide's really cool because it looks like it was hollowed out from a tree.
Yeah, at first I thought this was river country, but it is not.
No, it's not. Slide. It's just this. Yeah, the old.
No,
slide.
That's the old Nanea pool slide. Yeah, that's the old East pool.
Yes, right. Is that where
it's now the Oasis pool?
Right.
Yeah, that's the Oasis pool. Well, that pool was taken out, so a lot of people think they just resurfaced the Oasis pool to be, from because they had taken the East pool and they had shallowed it out for a while, so they did construction on it and made it shallow because it used to be really deep, and then because there was some regulation in Florida, you couldn't have pools at hotels deeper than 3-4 feet. So, but they removed that whole area. And in fact, the pool, even though they're both kind of an oval shape, they're actually facing different directions. They're completely opposite of what they were when they built the new one. But yeah, like you said, a lot of people. Now here's a trivia fact for you. Okay. So when they closed down the Nanea pool, the one you showed the picture of, and tore that out to build the volcano pool, which is now the lava pool, since there was no pool with a slide, they bolted in one of those plastic squiggly slides onto the East pool during that construction for people to slide down a slide into the pool.
Oh my God, really? That's hilarious.
Yeah,
and I don't know how many people got hurt on that thing, but yeah, like, well, because it's in the brochure, right? Water. Right. We have a pool with a slide, so
get down that slide, kids. It's like what was the Action Park class action lawsuit? The movie they made out of it. We went to Action Park as kids because it's not far from where we live, and you never left there without an incident.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's
that pool was kind of like that. I mean, but I have to be honest with you. I was a little bit disappointed when I first went back. The lava pool was not anything like this original pool. This, and I think the reason why is because I think that the original was made of more natural
material. Well, when you look at this
resin, and it's just
it looks more natural, but
it's not.
I mean, I know that you grow with the times, but I remember it.
Yeah.
And I don't have a great picture of it, but I remember it being just gorgeous. But then again, it could be because I was little and
Kim's grandmother sitting over there.
Yeah, she was.
Now, do you remember the playground? Do you remember the playground that was behind the pool between there and Hawaii?
I don't think so. No.
That was there for quite a while.
I do remember that my favorite part of the hotel of the resort was the electric water pageant and seeing it every single night. I as a little kid, I thought it was real. I remember thinking it was the most magical thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And as soon as we went back as a family, the first night I heard it, I was like, Colton, and we just bolted down the path. Yeah. And it's one of my favorite things in Disney is that silly pageant, the little serpent, and I
watched it every night last year because we had the water view for the first time ever staying at Poly. We had Lakeview, and we literally watched it every night. I mean, it was great. Yeah,
it never gets old.
Now you have to get a lightning lane. Now you have to get GD Plus to go see it and get lightning lane.
Yeah, you got it right. Yeah.
Why they moved?
I'm just kidding.
Oh,
but.
Check this out.
There was a I want to say maybe it was during COVID, but somebody had talked about they were discussing not running it anymore. Wow. And I thought, that's not going to go well.
No,
if they stop doing that. I mean, because you think about it, it's free, right? So they're not making any money off of it. Luckily it came back, and then they had that 50th thing they added to it, which is kind of cool.
Right.
let's just hope it continues on.
Costs to that are menial. I mean, seriously, I'll start a petition and a fundraiser if they want to get rid of it.
That's because you're not the one that has to buy the light bulbs.
True, right? Yeah, light bulb. Yeah, well, now that there's LEDs, we can, LEDs.
Well, that's true.
No, they changed the route of it, and it didn't suit the poly, and I was kind of annoyed. A couple of years ago, they changed the route a little bit. Right. And it didn't go right.
Oh, they did, because you know what? So the Polynesian used to always be the first show of the night. And the reason they did that was because it was developed for the grand opening of the Polynesian, which was on October 24th, when they had the first luau out on the beach. And that was part of that show. So ever since then, it always started at the Polynesian. And then now recently, it's Grand Floridian first, and then it does its rounds.
How dare they? They should put it back to its original.
Poly people, right into Disney and tell them you want the electrical water pageant first. I want to thank Steve Seifert again from TikiMan's Unofficial Polynesian Resort Pages for joining us again. It's been a lot of fun. I mean, we love Poly. We can talk about this all night, but
we could talk all night.
Yes, seriously, we could talk about scents and stuff. But I want to urge our fans to go over there to Facebook, TikiMan pages, and check it out. There's a lot of cool stuff there, and Steve's always developing and adding stuff. And then if you've got cool photos and like vintage photos of the Poly and stuff, get in touch with Steve and he'll put them up there. Like he's going to put Kim's photos up there.
Yeah, for sure.
Because people love to look at that stuff. So please go check it out. I also want to make sure I remind everybody to check out our deal of the week, which was an Old Key West 2-bedroom villa special. Don't forget about our promo code NTD50. You could take $50 off that deal. And also check out DMagicWorld.com. Tomorrow, when you're hanging out tomorrow on a Sunday doing stuff around your house, turn on DMagicWorld.com. You won't be disappointed. Trust me, you'll love it. And I just want to say thank you to everybody again for taking time out on your Saturday for joining us and spending some time with us. We love it. We love you guys. And just another fun Saturday night.
Thank you, Steve, so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, both of you. I really enjoyed it.
We're going to do that bar show.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
That'll be a lot of fun. So thank you so much. And good night, everybody.
And thanks for the photos, the construction photos. I know Elizabeth, tell her we said thank you. She took some great photos.
Yeah.
She did.
Of all that stuff.
Everybody in the loop.
Yeah. And Kim, you did a great job with the intros tonight.
Thank you. Now I'm going to do the outro.
You are?
Yes. Good night. You'll just sit here all night, David. You don't know how to say goodbye. You love everybody.
I don't normally do the outro.
Alan smells.
Alan.